Okay, Midnight Bacon here. So I did a thing. I placed a bid on this, guess call it Ozapan HK S1X1. And some of you might be thinking, Bacon, why would you do that for? It's got pretty low efficiency. Why would you do it? Well, one of the reasons that I wanted a gun like this is this was probably the most cost-effective, high DPS gun that I could get my hands on, skill-wise. Basically, my motivation is I wanted to start hunting different mobs, bigger diversity of mobs. I think I'd been using that A3 justifier for a long time, which with amps and everything else on it, it's getting about 65% efficiency. So it's the justifier was far more efficient. So this has got significantly lower efficiency. However, the DPS on this is significantly higher. Now the thing, if I bring this across here, you can see the DPS 45, 48 to 97. Critical hit, potentially sort of hit around 200 potentially. Now the thing is, I don't got the best possible amp on it. Currently got a 20B, which is a little bit low. I could go a lot higher. I think could go with a 33B amplifier, which if I use the 33 is going to give me about 63% efficiency. So currently sitting on 59.9, so 63 would definitely be a significant improvement. It's currently tier 2, but it's good to go to upgrade it to tier 3, which when I get a moment, that's something I'm going to do. I'm going to do that probably after this video. I'm going to probably upgrade it to tier 3. So I think some of the downsides to this is I can at least get the first 3 tiers. I can get enhancers into the first 3, so that can, I suppose, counter some of the downsides about this particular weapon. Probably the biggest downside is probably the efficiency side of things, but having such high DPS and relatively good efficiency, and like in terms of what you've got to pay for a gun like this, it's relatively cheap option for me to take that next step. So basically I bought this because I was looking for a way to buy, I suppose I was feeling with the justifier, I had outgrown it, and I was feeling a bit sort of had to get through that gate, had to get past the gatekeeping of progression. To me, having this is a way that I can progress and play at a higher level, be able to hunt with more diversity in the mobs that I can hunt. I can hunt much higher HP mobs, which then gives me more opportunities that I would have using the justifier. The justifier was fairly limited in terms of the amount of DPS you could get out of it, which then restricted the number of mobs that you could hunt. One thing I've found from playing Entropia is HP wise and evade and dodge. I've got fairly decent evade, fairly decent dodge. I've got reasonable HP, long way behind players like Lawspade, but keep in mind Lawspade's been playing a lot longer than I have. So yeah, just something to consider. So yeah, with this, it just gives me an opportunity to really just to branch out into more mobs that otherwise I just couldn't bother, that I just didn't have the ability to hunt. Like, I had the hit points and the evade or dodge, but I just didn't have the DPS to do it efficiently. Because otherwise, I'll just be sitting there shooting forever with the Justifier. But with this gives me an opportunity to take on just a much bigger range of mobs now. So I'm looking forward to being able to take on a much bigger range of mobs. That's something I'm just really looking forward to, and actually feel like I've got a chance, a bit of progression. That, to me, I mean, that's one of the reasons we play MNOs, is for that progression. I just really had to get past that feeling of feeling like I was being gatekeeped. I can't talk. So that's probably the main motivation for buying this. Like, yes, on the flip side, yeah, I probably could have bought a huge stack of Hyperion, high efficiency Hyperion guns. That's something I could have done as an alternative. But even by the time you sort of throw amps onto them and whatnot, they still just didn't. Yes, they had that good efficiency, but they just didn't have the DPS that I was looking for to play at the level that I wanted to play at. So basically, I've bought this gun as a means that I can now play at a level that I'm happy to play at, that I want to play at. So if we're talking about, go back to the DPS, like, I'm getting 97 with this, with the 20B. With the 33, it bumps it up to about 100 something. And with critical hits, that's 200. So, yeah, basically I'm going from about 60 DPS with the Justifier all the way up to 100 pretty consistently. So yeah, looking forward to using this gun. I know it doesn't got it's not sort of playing within that sort of advice that I had given on efficiency, but at the same time, it's a way for me to step up my game and being able to hunt at a much higher level. And the thing is, you don't necessarily need to hunt high level mobs, but just in terms of staying engaged in the game and having that variety, that diversity, that's really important to me. Like in, I think my last video, I mentioned the most important thing about Entropia is having fun, investing to make sure that you are having fun with when you're playing. And if you're not doing that, you got to question, is it even worth doing? So to me, one of the reasons I'm buying this gun is because I'm investing into fun, keeping this game fun, enjoyable, so it doesn't become a grind, doesn't become repetitive. With that, like I said, with that Justifier, I was fairly limited in terms of what I could hunt with it, and this just gives me so many more options. Now, should I decide to go back to hunting smaller mobs, to mid-level sort of mobs, I'll probably go back to, if I was doing smaller stuff again, I would probably go back to using the Frontier hunting rifle with an amp on it, because that's got that ideal efficiency range. Another thing I'd probably be looking at using is, I'll probably keep on using this ANP Mayhem BC30 modified. It's the exceptional version, so it's got very low decay rate, So when it comes to using the smaller mobs, this is probably going to be my go-to. I'll keep using this, and I'll keep using the Frontier hunting rifle adjusted, and for the times when I want to branch out and hunt some bigger stuff, or to chase after specific loot, something that's in the loot pool that only certain bigger mobs might drop, I'll pull this out. But also being able to hunt bigger mobs now, that gives me more opportunities in the codex. So this is going to allow me to start doing some of the codex that I haven't really done a whole lot with. You know, I might be able to start doing a bit. I think they were saying Crystal Palace at the moment is broken, so I might not be able to get there at the moment, but you know, I might be able to do a bit more of these. Like, there's just a whole bunch of mobs in here that I just really haven't been able to get stuck into, and with this new gun I'm going to be able to get stuck into the codex a whole lot more. So for me, one of the motivations for buying a gun like this, even though the efficiency on it isn't that great, is that I'm going to be able to get stuck into codex a lot more. One other aspect of it is, once I do pair it up with the correct amp and then start packing it out with damage enhancers, well, there's potential I could use it for a PvP weapon also. Anyway, just thought I'll just share with you guys what I've done. My latest purchase in Entropia. I think I was the only bidder for it, so I think I got it for a pretty good price. Actually, if we look, yeah, average markup is 2,062, that's the average. And if we look at some of the more recent, what is that not showing? Anyway, if you look at, yeah, there we go. So some of the more recent sales that they've sold for 1,351. They sort of typically do go for around that 1,500 mark, but yeah, I was able to pick it up for 1,153. So I think I got it pretty cheaply. I don't think I've overpaid for it. I've probably paid a little bit under the current markup, so I think I got it for a pretty good price. Anyway, yeah, if you find this video helpful, please just like, share, subscribe and comment. Feel free to give feedback if you think I've done the wrong thing. I'm completely open-minded. Anyway, I'm outie. Bye.